Fender builds guitars in Japan, besides Mexico, the US and China that is? Well, ever since I bought one, I got curious, I did some research, and here's what I found out. Welcome back to the second episode of Whiskey and Wisdom. Tonight I will be talking about why Fender does build guitars in Japan. And I will be drinking a Sentis malt, which is a single malt from Switzerland. Let's see. Interesting, but it won't be my favorite. A while back I came upon this guitar in a small shop for used guitars here in my city, and I wanted a Strat, so I bought it. And it says crafted in Japan on the back of the neck right here, and that got me curious. I could trace it back to be built in Japan by a company called Tokai Duna Gaki, sorry, I had to look that up, between 2002 and 2004. And that got me thinking, why would Fender be building guitars in Japan when they already have production lines in the US, in China, and in Mexico? So I did some digging on the internet and I found 9 interesting facts about that topic. And here's what I found. Number 1. In the late 70s, Fender got some serious competition on the island of Japan by brands like Greco, Hernandez and Tokai, who were building Strat and Tele clones a lot cheaper than Fender could import them into Japan, which was mainly because there was no import cost on them and because Japanese labor cost was a lot cheaper back in the days. Number 2. In 1982, Fender Japan LTS was founded by Fender Musical Instruments and Yamano Gaki and Kenda Gaki. Yamano and Kenda Gaki were 2 Japanese wholesalers. Gaki just means musical instrument in Japanese. Number 3. The first producer for Fender guitars in Japan was a company called Fuji Gen Gaki. They were also producing for Ibanez and Greco. It's notable that Tokai was asked first, but negotiations broke down for whatever reason. Fuji Gen built Fender guitars till 1996-1997. They were said to be extremely good Fender guitars, and some say they were the closest thing you could get to the pre-CBS Fender guitars. Fender was sold to the company CBS in 1984, and they changed the production process of Fender guitars quite a bit to bring costs down, but the production process stayed the same for Fuji Gen in Japan. Number 4. Crafted in Japan versus made in Japan. In 1996-1997, Dunai Gaki and Tokai Gaki took over production from Fuji Gen Gaki for Fender guitars. And it is said that since that moment, the back of the neck was stamped crafted in Japan and no longer made in Japan as it was under the production of Fuji Gen Gaki. Those guitars started to be sold outside of Japan, whereas the Fuji Gen guitars were never sold outside of Japan. Number 5. In 2015, the joint venture between Fender Musical Instrument Corporation, Kanda Gaki and Yamano Gaki was officially ended. Fender took over the production process in Japan as of 1st of April 2015. Number 6. The rumors. According to a representative of Fender, it was in the contract between Fender and Fuji Gen that should Fender ever switch to another manufacturer for their guitars, it should no longer say made in Japan, but crafted in Japan on the back of the neck. But as early as 1992 there were guitars on the market that said crafted in Japan. This is said to be because Fuji Gen outsourced some of the production as early as 1992. It is also said that Fender had quality issues with Fuji Gen in the later years, and that is why they switched from Fuji Gen Gaki to Tokai Gaki and Dunai Gaki. It is also interesting that there's a rumor floating around, which I could not verify, that the crafted in Japan guitars were only assembled in Japan and the parts were flown in from China. Number 7. The good ones. The Fuji Gen early 80s guitars are said to be nearly perfect pre-CBS clones of very high standard and very good quality. Even today the prices are low compared to their American big brothers. Number 8. The fake ones. Whenever there's money involved, you'll find some criminals on the internet especially. There were some guitars that were popping up, especially in the Fender realm, where only the neck was real and it said made in Japan on the back, so the guitar pretended to be one of the precious Fender early 80s Japan guitars made by Fuji Gen Gaki. But in reality it was just the neck with the real serial number, the real made in Japan stamped on it, but the body, the pickups, the electrics was all fake or China or Squire. So beware when you buy one used and make sure you get the real deal. Number 9. My guitar. I was on the lookout for a Strat and I had no idea that Fender also produced guitars in Japan besides from Mexico and the US and China. And I found this thing in a shop in my town where they only sell used guitars. I'm still not sure about the looks. Originally it came all paisley, but the owner did change the pickguard to white because he didn't like the looks either, and he lost the original pickguard, which I don't care about because I don't bought this thing as part of a collection or because I wanted to make money of it, but because of the way it sounds. And it does sound, at least in my ears, really good. Plus, it plays really good, really smoothly, and it's a very good player's guitar. Edges are rounded off, frets are still in a very good condition. It has the old school tuners, which I love, where you can just stick the string end in the hole. All in all, it stays in tune very good. I didn't change a thing about it, and it's my go-to guitar whenever I want to have a Strat sound. Let me give you some examples. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for my channel for more content like this, and I'll be finishing my Swiss single malt. And see you next time. I'm out.